what's up, guys? Dale Valor here from Modern Valor Dating. Listen, I was reading an article on CNN.com from an author named Morgan Marples. All right, now this is what the article was about. It's when dating with body language tips from a former FBI agent. Okay, now here's the deal, man. This article, in large part, was written for body language tips when dealing with virtual dating. You know, so you're going to do a Zoom session or something like that with a girl, and how to read her body language and how you should be coming across and things like that. By and large, I think that virtual dating like that is a colossal waste of time. I don't advocate it. I think it's just stupid. All right, bluntly. I just think it's just dumb. All right, but the tips in there were really, really good that you could use in the general sense. Some of these tips do call for it to be with a girl, all right? But many of these tips are things that you can use in the general sense, whether it's in a professional setting, whether it's with friends, family, whatever. Okay, so these tips are great. And it coming from an FBI agent named Joe Navarro. A lot of the tips that he talks about, man, I thought were gold. It's things that I've covered before when it comes to body language and things like that. So we're going to go really deep on it. Looking forward to it. Let's get into it right now. Let's go. Hey guys, wanted to take this quick time out just to remind you, if you haven't subscribed to this channel, you are doing yourself a disservice. Okay, I hate to put it like that, but it's absolutely true. Why? Because we want to get these videos to you as quickly and easily as we can. I've had so many people tell me, I wish I would have seen X video sooner, because I could have went out and did something about it, because I was in a situation where that information would have been handy. And they didn't see it because they didn't subscribe. I don't want that to happen to you. So make sure you subscribe, hit the notification bell, drop us a comment, and share it with people you know need to see it. Another thing real quick, April 24th at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to be doing one of our live Zoom events like we do every single month on the last Saturday of the month. And it's going to be dope, man. They are so much fun and so educational, man. I mean, look, the last one we did on body language and tonality was awesome. And this month, what we're going to talk about is how to deliver a great story, how to be a great storyteller. And the reason that's important is because if you can deliver a rich, textured story, you're bringing her into your reality, and she's able to see it from her own vantage point plus your vantage point, and you can embed in there so many things of value to talk about yourself. Man, it's going to be so dope. I can't wait. So hopefully we see you there. We're dropping the link here, and yeah, it's going to be good times. Plus, we always do a Q&A at the end. All right, so back to the video. Number one, mirroring. All right, I don't know if you've ever heard of this concept before, but basically what mirroring is where you identify with the way that a person carries themselves in a conversational sense. All right, so in other words, if you were talking to me, maybe mirroring me, you would catch on to the energy that I deliver. Maybe you start using hand gestures similar to mine in what I do, right? And so what you are doing by doing that is showing that you are like them. And people who are like each other tend to like each other, birds of a feather and such, right? So the thing is, man, if you can adequately mirror somebody without it being over the top where you're mocking them, that can come across really, really well. It's one of the factors for instant charisma. Okay, if you want instant charisma, mirroring is a great way to do that. Now, mirroring comes originally, from my understanding, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, tell me. All right. I reserve the right to be wrong sometimes. But I believe, and I'm like 90% sure of this, that mirroring originally comes from NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. All right, now I'm a big advocate of NLP. I'm not an evangelist for NLP, but I do agree with a lot of NLP concepts, and oftentimes I use NLP and I advocate that other people use it as well. All right, so I find it interesting that an organization like the FBI would pick up on some of the NLP techniques and teach that. So I think that that's pretty cool. And you know what? In the comments, let me know what you think about NLP. If you've studied it, if you've looked into it, let me know your thoughts, because I know it's somewhat of a hot button issue. Some people say it's pseudoscience. Some people say it's gospel truth. Okay, I tend to be more on the gospel truth side than the pseudoscience side of it. But that being said, I'm not a big fan of extremes either way. So, all right, we're gonna get into number 2. Let's go. Number 2, show your hands. All right, so look, when you're addressing somebody and you're talking to somebody, you want to come across as somebody that's trustworthy, that you're not hiding something. And psychologically speaking, if you have your hands shoved in your pockets or behind your back or something like that, it comes across as maybe you've got something to hide. And it might not be physically. It's not like, oh my God, that guy's hands in his pockets. He's probably got a pistol. He's gonna rob me. It's not even that. It's just on a psychological standpoint, it seems as though maybe you're hiding some kind of truth that you don't want that person to know about. So you want to be as clear and transparent as you possibly can with interacting with somebody. Why? Because you want that person to trust you. So one of the tips that I advocate when it comes to showing your hands is like this. If you don't know what to do with your hands, and that seems to be a big thing. Guys are like, I don't know what to do with my hands, so I'll just put them in my pocket. Or they fidget around and things like that with their hands. If you don't know what to do with your hands, leave them at your side, okay? Just leave them at your side. Be comfortable in your stance, but just leave them there. And then when you need to emphasize a point, something that you're trying to get across, use your hands to give it a little extra oomph, all right? Now, me personally, I probably am a little bit to the extreme of hand gesturing and, talking with my hands, things like that, right? So you don't have to take it to the extreme that I do, but it does add something. It adds a little bit of flair, a little flavor to the conversation, a little bit of personality. If you just stand there like you're at attention and you're just like, do, saying what I've got to say, okay, now it's your turn. Like, that gets boring. A lot of times girls resonate with a guy that is animated. Now, when I say animated, I don't mean clownish. I don't mean cartoonish. But what I do mean is that you have a big personality, all right? And even if you don't have a big personality, if you're more of a reserved type of person, if you can let that go for certain points that you're trying to make, certain things that you want to emphasize, okay, that will do you a world of good, okay? Okay, so listen, in the comments, let me know what you think. What is over the top to where it's clownish or buffoonish behavior that you're coming across in like dancing monkey mode? All right, so it seems like a lot of guys, they're either in one camp or the other, that you have to be way over the top or be absolutely stoic and show no emotion at all. I believe there'd be a middle ground. All right, what do you guys think about that? All right, we're gonna hop into number 3. Let's go. Number 3, look for IOIs. Now, here's the deal. Agent Joe Navarro did not use the term IOIs. And if you don't know what that means, it means indicators of interest, okay? Different signals that you can look for to see if she's interested in you or not. A lot of times guys are like, I don't know how to pick up on signs. I don't know how to pick up on flirting and things like that. And what ends up happening is, the girl's going out of her way to try to flirt and the guy's just not getting it. And then it's the tale as old as time where the guy's like, I didn't know she was flirting. And the girl's like, I was so over the top of my flirting. How did he not know? So being able to pick up on indicators of interest really keep that from happening. All right. So interestingly, this FBI agent was talking about look for indicators of interest. Again, he didn't say it that way or put it that way, but the things that he was saying are definitely IOIs, okay? Different things like head tilting. So if you're talking to a girl, think about this. When you see people that are really interested in what somebody is saying, what do they often do? Especially if they're sitting down. What do they often do? They often like lean in, right? And like maybe they got their, think about it like a professor, right? Talking in front of his class. A lot of times they lean in, or elbows on the table and eyes wide open because they want to absorb as much information coming at them as possible, and they're interested in it and they want to get as much as they can. All right, so there's that head tilt forward. Another thing is hair. All right, so if she starts fixing her hair and playing with her hair and stuff like that, that is another sign of IOIs. If she's just playing with her hair because she's bored, that's not an IOI. Know the difference, all right? Some girls are like look for the facial expression. If she's playing with her hair and looking really into you, IOI. If she's just like, probably not an IOI. All right, so just be aware of that. Another thing is fixing and straightening clothes. All right, so like making sure that I look good and, from her perspective, making sure everything is, where it needs to be, and clothes is looking right and looking as best as I can because I'm trying to impress this person. And I don't want to come across looking sloppy and things like that. So I'm going to fix my things as I'm talking to you so you don't get the wrong impression of me. All right, so screen for those when you're having a conversation or interaction. So in the comments, man, let me know what are your favorite IOIs to pick up on. All right, we're going to get into number 4. Let's go. Number 4, don't come with nervous energy. All right, because that is super contagious. All right, if you're acting all nervous and you're fidgeting around, and fidgeting is a big one. Refrain from fidgeting, and it's hard, man. I get it. Sometimes you don't even realize you're doing it. But guys having a tendency, like I've got this jacket on right now, right? Guys having a tendency to play with the zipper on their jacket, and they're just fumbling around with it with their fingers, or just constantly. Just, I don't know, man, anything. The bouncy leg, that's another one. Have you ever seen that where a guy's sitting there and his legs just bouncing and bouncing and bouncing? That kind of energy is contagious. You don't want her to feel anxious or nervous about talking to you. You want her to be comfortable and open and honest with you, not like, man, this guy, he's making me nervous, like you're standing there talking to her, biting your nails and, flailing around and, no, you want your energy to come across as confident, clear, precise, and a strong presence, okay? Does this look strong to you? Or like eyes darting around and, just looking like I would rather be anywhere else in the world? Does that look confident to you? No, it doesn't, because it isn't. And so make sure you're squared up. Make sure you're not fidgeting, okay? And look, we did a video a little while back on NLP. All right, we talked about it a little bit earlier in this video. So what I want you to do is, if you're interested in learning a little bit about it, I broke down some of the concepts that my takeaways from it, okay? And so we're gonna link that up here. What I want you to do is go check that out, all right? I will see you there.